everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren. I'm a homeschool mom to 4 children. I actually only have 3 left in our homeschool. I have a 12th grader, an 8th grader, and a 2nd grader who has special needs. So today in this video, I'm going to show you my curriculum picks for my 8th grader. Now we are about 8 to 9 weeks into our school year. We started at the beginning of June. So we're technically year-round homeschoolers. And so we already have a good head start and we're already a good bit into our school year. And I'm going to show you what she is using and what's working very well for her. So if you watched my 12th grader video, you're going to see a lot of redundance. That's because we do a lot where I can combine, I combine. And because they are now, my daughter's on the verge of high school, she is able to handle a little bit heavier of her workload and she's able to handle heavy ideas. So we combine them too in history, in our morning time, and we do loop subjects together. So for our morning time, we start our morning off with World Watch News. We watch that every morning. After we watch World Watch, we dive into our copywork. So this is a copywork book from Reformation Heritage Press, and it is called the 17:6:18 series. And they have different books of the Bible that you can go through, and basically you just copy or transcribe the Bible. So we had started the book of Luke last year, and we're hoping to finish it up this year. And these make such great keepsakes. So I will always have my child's writing of the book of Luke, and I'm doing one with them as well. And so this is just a good keepsake. They do this, they copy their Bible passage for the day while we are listening to a Heroes Then and Now book. So usually we listen to one of the missionary stories. So right now we are on Lauren Cunningham and we are enjoying his story. So as they listen, they copy. After that, we move into our Bible curriculum by Livestone. Now, we have been using this for several years, and I am very, very picky when it comes to Bible curriculum. This one is by far the best I have ever used. I love it so much. So we don't necessarily do the test. We do sometimes. They did the last test, but we don't always do the test. And sometimes we just go through the questions orally. But I love the approach that Illuminate gives, and it is so doctrinally sound and applicable. So this has been my favorite so far that I've used with high schoolers. So they both go through this. We go through it together. They both go through Latin as well. So Latin, especially with Memoria Press, can be very drill and kill. We do not take that approach. I do not do all the drills that come with this. If you did all the drills, which was fine if that's what you're looking into, but for us it would take the majority of our time that I have set aside. And so for me, we focus on translation and we focus on vocabulary. And so we are in second form Latin. We finished about halfway through this last year. And so we are moving a little faster now. And so I figure we'll finish this and start third form Latin when we finish this one. And for the remainder of our morning time, we do our memory work, which is we have character memory, we have Bible memory, we have poetry, and then we have like composer study and artist study. We just do our beauty loops. So we don't do all of those every day, but we do loop through our beauty subjects as well. Okay, so speaking of looping, so usually every day I have some sort of loop subject scheduled. And so for our loop subject, meaning we only do these things once a week, okay, once a week. And one of those is Plutar. So we are going through the life of Alexander the Great. I have really enjoyed this series by Simply Charlotte Mason. There's videos to go along with this, and my kids have been very engaged with this. So I do recommend Plutarch. Jumping in, I was always a little hesitant about Plutarch, but I have enjoyed jumping in to Plutarch. Okay, for church history, we are doing theologians, I can't talk today, theologians that you should know. And we also add in some living books when I can find them to just kind of beef up the lesson a little bit about church history. We do poetry once a week. We do grammar of poetry once a week. And we do a lesson out of writing and rhetoric once a week. So these are things that I just kind of loop through in order to give my children a wide range of a feast of ideas and thoughts, and not to overwhelm them with such a heavy course load that they don't take any enjoyment in their education. So these are things I wanted to implement, but we do it slowly and we do it kind of gradually, okay? And so that is the things we do like once a day, or once a week, I'm sorry. And so for history, we do history every day. And for history, we take a very Charlotte Mason approach to history. And this year, we are on ancient history. And so we do a 4-year cycle, and we cycle back to ancients now. And I just couldn't figure out what exactly I wanted to use. So I just pulled books from all sorts of different sources. And so for Egypt, we are doing the Pharaohs of Ancient Egypt, the Book of the Ancient World, and Unwrapping the Pharaohs. And we have really enjoyed this. As well as doing our history readings together, we notebook together. So they draw pictures, they write narrations, we do charts, we do all sorts of stuff with our notebooks. But we have really enjoyed notebooking our way through ancient Egypt. And so I've written kind of my own guide to what I want us to cover this year. Last year we finished up modern history early, so we went ahead and jumped into Genesis. And so we covered the first 12 chapters of Genesis at the end of last year. And so that gave us a good foundation to start with the pharaohs of ancient Egypt and diving into Egypt's history and how it aligns with the Bible. Then we will dive into, sorry, got too many books around, into Greece. Well, I'm sorry, not Greece. We'll do the kings of Israel after we get done with Egypt. And for it, we are doing Unveiling the Kings of Egypt. I'm just going to go through the pile and show you what we're going to be using this year. We're going to be doing the Hittite warrior. And then for Greece, we're going to be doing the ancient Greeks. The Trojan War, we're going to be reading it. The Ides of April. Beyond the Desert Gate. And then for the Roman study, we're going to be doing Caesar Augustus' World, or Augustus Caesar's World, the Book of the Ancient Romans, and Ancient Rome and New. Okay, so that's what I have planned for us to read through for our history cycle. Now, some of these books we read together. My daughter's actually reading, along with this, Myra, Queen of the Nile, or Daughter of the Nile, and she's enjoying it. So I assign some of these as independent reads, and some of them we'll read together. And then they notebook. But something that I have added that I have really enjoyed, and I think it has been beneficial to both of my children, is these memory statement cards. I have put them in narration form, and it is things that we have read about, ideas that we have discussed, and we just go over these narration cards or memory cards every day. I don't expect them to memorize every word, but I do expect them to take the information and make it their own. So after a few times of reading it through to me, I will then ask, tell me about the dynasties of Egypt, and they will tell me back what they have taken as their own. Okay, and that's the goal, is to see what they have taken and made their own through a living education. So that is the majority of the things that we do together. This takes probably, our together time with breaks and everything included, takes about 2 hours. And then she has her independent work, which takes about 1 hour to 2. So for my 8th grader, for math, she will be doing the second book for Principles of Mathematics from Master Books. She does really well with this series. It's a gentle approach, slow and gentle, and it has been just a lifesaver for us in the math department. So she'll be finishing up book 2 for that. For her personal Bible, she will be doing Transformed by the Word, or by Truth, I'm sorry, Transformed by Truth. For language arts, she will be doing her last book with Rod and Staff, and this one's sentimental to us. We love Rod and Staff English. Okay, so for language arts, she also does Wordly Wise. This is her first year doing it, and she's doing really well with it. She is also doing language lessons for the secondary child by Queen Homeschooling. So this is a very simple like dictation, copy work. There's a few written narrations. There are a few grammar exercises, and she loves this. This is one of the things she picks up first, and she just goes through it and does this independently. So this has been a great resource for her. And then for science, she also does, or she does 2 books. She will do Life Science, God Made Life, Life Science from Generations for the first half of the year. And then for the second half of the year, she will be doing the World of Biology. And so we do not use the workbook that goes with this. She usually does a notebook page or has a written narration to go along with this, and the same will be true for the World of Biology. She also does Logic by Master Books, and it is not here, so it must be in her room, but she does it, and she does that course once a week, so it's not an everyday thing. And she also does science twice a week. So these are her main things that she does every single day, and it takes her roughly an hour to do so. As far as literature goes, I keep a stack of books from Lamplighters or Generations for them to choose from. So I love Lamplighters books because they are reprinted, they're beautiful, they look good on our shelves, but what is more important is that our children are digesting good, wholesome material. Okay, so that's it. That's what my 8th grader will be using this year, and it is working so far, and we are enjoying it.